290 pounds and went completely undefeated for an entire decade. For 6 straight years, the absolute best fighters on Earth couldn't score a single point against him. They didn't just lose to him, they were completely broken by him. Men would step onto the mat, look into his eyes, and choose to get pinned early just to avoid getting hurt.
He would simply wrap his massive arms around his opponent's
thing
waist,
to an unstoppable force human eyes had ever seen,
directly
until
over
the
his
year
head,
2000,
flip them
when a
entirely
bizarre
upside
overnight
down,
rule change
and slam
and a
them
single
violently into the
split-second
canvas.
mistake did the impossible.
It was a move deemed physically impossible for heavyweights. Karelin did it routinely. Watching this, Western journalists gave him a new moniker, the Experiment. Rumors spread like wildfire that Soviet scientists had genetically engineered him in a laboratory. Joe Rogan famously remarked that Karelin was the scariest wrestler of all time, a man who literally beat people with the earth. Throughout the late 1980s and the entire decade of the 90s, Karelin's dominance was absolute. He swept Olympic gold in Seoul in 1988. He returned in 1992 under a unified flag to destroy the competition in Barcelona, with none of his matches even lasting the full distance. But what made him truly terrifying wasn't just his brute force, it was his psychopathic pain tolerance. At the 1993 World Championships, Karelin fractured 2 ribs in his very first match.
His major pectoral
the Russian team didn't even have a doctor on site, meaning he had to fight with absolutely zero
Doctors told him he wouldn't be able to lift his arm,
saw
terrible
Karelin
condition,
stoically
and
ignored
won
the
his
agony,
third Olympic
pushed
gold
through the broken
using just
bones,
one
and
functioning
completely
arm.
wiped out the bracket
His
to take
aura
the
of
gold
invincibility
anyway.
grew so massive that it eventually spilled over into the broader fight world. In 1999, a legendary Japanese mixed martial arts pioneer named Akira Maeda did the unthinkable. He publicly challenged Karelin to a real fight. Maeda was an experienced striker and thought his brutal low kicks would easily chop down the giant grappler. Early in the match, the kicks landed hard. Karelin later admitted he thought it was a joke at first, until it started to hurt. That's when the monster woke up. Under unique rules that banned striking on the ground, Karelin decided to teach the martial artist a lesson. Without landing a single strike, the Russian bear used a front headlock to drag Maeda around the ring like a ragdoll. He repeatedly threw him through the air, completely exhausting and terrifying the Japanese fighter. After 10 minutes of pure, unalterated dominance, the bell rang. Karelin won a unanimous decision, while Maeda literally could not leave the ring under his own power. For his trouble, Karelin was paid a massive $1 million purse. Keeping true to his strict code of honor, he didn't keep a single cent, donating the entire million. Crushing under immense pressure, the impossible happened. Karelin's fingers momentarily slipped. He unclasped his hands for a fraction of a second. The referee paused the match, checked the replay video, and awarded a single historic point to Rulon Gardner. For the first time in his entire career, Karelin was playing catch-up. He rushed forward like a feral predator, trying desperately to launch his legendary Karelin Lift, but Gardner stayed rock solid, refusing to take any risks, simply letting the clock tick away. When the final buzzer echoed through the arena, the combat sports world shattered. The invincible Russian bear had been defeated, 1-0. A 13-year empire brought down not by a brutal knockout, but by a microscopic technicality. Karelin later stated, "I made a blunder. I let down the hopes of my countrymen, and I lost." Immediately after the medal ceremony, Karelin quietly unlaced his boots, left them in the center of the mat, and walked away from combat sports forever. The very rule that cost him the match was canceled shortly after the games. Today, Karelin is a politician, holds a doctorate in sports pedagogy, and writes poetry. The madman from Siberia proved that no matter how remote your corner of the world is, absolute greatness is within your grasp. He remains, without question, the greatest combat sports monster to ever live. If you love deep dives into the dark lore of combat history, slam that subscribe button, hit like, and let me know in the comments, who is the scariest fighter you have ever seen? See you in the next Chronicle.